Hello everyone, it's Pam here with Tattered Paper and Lace, and welcome to my messy desk. I've been working on a few things with this journal. We're on, I think it's part 4 of this grungy junky journal that I'm making. And I've been working on a few things, and I thought I'd turn on the camera and bring you with me for what I'm going to do next. I'll show you what I've done after I get done with this little bit of stuff right here. I am going to use, I'll show you in here so you can see, if I can find it, so you can see how it's completed right here. I have this bracket right here, which is these two parts rusted. It's holding on fabric on this side, and on this side it's holding a scrappy pad. So I'm going to do something similar, but not exactly. But I'll be using that same little bracket. So let me show you what I'm doing. I've already got a scrappy pad put together over here. Here it is. And all it is just scrap pieces of paper. And I am going to glue these just at the top. Where's my glue? Here it is. Because it'll be easier to get it all together like I want it to be. I extended this one, so I added on, I don't know if you can tell, I added on a piece there to make this piece longer. But I'm just going to do a little line of glue, not much, doesn't need to be much. I just want to keep them together. And so we'll do that one there. And then I wanted to do this one next. So I just have bits and go to my scrap bin and pick out bits of paper that can be scrappy. I like to call it a scrappy pad. And that's what we got going on here. It's just bits of scrap paper. I've got 2 little pieces of this. And so I'm going to make 2 little sections right here. My desk, I need to change my background because this is all bumpily with glue and stuff. And it makes it hard to slide things around. I want to put this longer one on top. On the bottom. Then you got the shorter one. See this one? This one is a little bit shorter than that one, you can see, but I'm going to space them so that they cover up the width here. And that's just how I want to do it. And so I will just put these down like so, right along here. Again, I like to glue them because it'll stay together better. While I need to get me another tissue here. While I put the whole thing together, this will be easier. So we've got those glued down. We'll do the same thing with this. And I like for each row of each layer of paper to be shorter, so you got some interest going on. So we have this going on here. Let's see if I can, probably not, like that. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this one along here. But this is what my desk generally looks like when I'm working on a journal or anything of substance. I'd like for that to be turned that way. No, we're going to turn it that way. We'll do it that way. I tore all the edges of most of the edges that weren't already torn. I tore them because on some of them because I like torn edges, if I can get torn edges. This piece, I didn't do that. I didn't do that down this side of that piece. Just, it's whatever strikes my fancy at the time is how I do that. And I'm going to put, this is a very vintage letter. Here's the rest of it. It's so, not that. It is so fragile that I can't really use it as an insert, an inclusion in a journal, because it's literally falling apart. So I was going to use it somewhere. I thought it had the date on it, and it was like, you can tell from the writing and the, let's see, maybe it's on here. Nope, I want to do it like that. So I will take this, put a little glue along there. Like I said, doesn't take much. Now, on the other one that I did in the other book, I did a scrappy pad on one side and a large piece of fabric and so forth on the other. I don't have that option where I want to put this time, because I have this image which I have stitched around. That's one of the things I did off camera. And I want to do it on this page. So on this side, I could, cover them up and then you could lift it up to see them, but I'm not going to do that. I've come up with something else. So what I'm going to do on this side is this with these little pieces of lace, and then this will go through here, and on the other side this will go on it. I'll show you. So this is going to go here like this. It's going to go like, whoops, something like that. So I'm also going to glue these down with just a little bit of glue. Again, easier to make it all happen if you got everything or most everything glued down a little bit. Am I in frame? Barely. I don't have much room, so I apologize. I think that's the right side. So I am going to put this, and this is how wide this is, where the brackets go in. So I don't really want to go past where the brackets will go in. I want to kind of be, and then I'm going to turn this one the other way. This is just this is a Dollar Tree lace. If you don't know, if you haven't seen it or don't know that Dollar Tree carries this nice crocheted looking lace in their stores, and it's really nice, and they have it in different widths now. They used to only have this narrow one that I have on my hand right here. Okay, so there is that. Now I am not going, I don't think I'm going to glue this to the page. I don't think I could. See, so that's just going to be a little, oh, you can't see it. Hold on. Now, see, and this isn't the part that's going to be holding it on, but that's going to be just right there, and it'll have this rusted metal going across it like this. So I could glue it on there just in the center, and that way it won't move on me as I try to get, yeah, let me do that. And also will then have a better idea of where it goes, where the holes need to go in this. So I am just going to take this, just have a little bit of glue on it. Gonna stick it where I think I need for it to go. Just like that. Give it a minute to dry. And then what I will do is I will poke holes so that this is kind of covering the seam of those two. So I need to take this out. While I do that, and that's gonna go over here And then this is going to go here. Well, here. So I need to get, I have a big awl. This came from Walmart, but see how big the shaft of this is? And that's going to be about the size I need. Yeah, that'll work. So I am going to place a hole. Fasten that back out. And that's how it's going to look without these legs on it. Yeah. So I'm going to do a hole about right here. And that fabric. Didn't want to punch. It's a ribbon. It's a little ribbon fabric, and it didn't really want to punch. Huh. Or is it this that doesn't want to punch? I think it's that. Let me move that so that'll be right there. Yeah, that'll work. Then we're going to stick this through it. Again. There we go. And I'm going to bend this over. That's going to be wrinkled a little bit, but it don't really matter. There are no wrong things in a journal like this. It is nothing, no wrong anythings. Yeah, that lace, or that, it's not lace, is tough. Now we'll stick this through here. There we go. So on this side, we'll have this. Oh, it might have been the glue that was making that hard. Could be. Okay, so on that side, we'll have this. And on this side, so that'll be done like that. And then on this side will be the scrappy pad. And I don't know if I want to add something on. I think I do, but I think I want it to be some paper. Like maybe put this out, this. A piece of this across the top here. Yeah, I think I do. I think I do want to do that. So let's get this out. Let's cut a piece. Like that'll make the little pad come further down as well. Give you a little decorative edge on this. And I think I can fold it around like that and like that. Give it a little more stability. Yeah. And then I'll punch holes in that. See, I just have stuff everywhere. I hope everybody does that. Because I definitely do. Okay. That's not got enough on it. So I just have these random things around me. I have a 12 by 12 little container thing over here that you used to put scrapbooking paper in. And that's what I gather the things that I want, that I think I want to use in a journal. When I am gathering for the journal, that's how I gather it. And let's get that on there. Just want to do it right on the edge. And I'll show you that in a minute. And then I have a cigar box that's missing the lid over here that I have some smaller items in. So my husband is he just walked through my craft room. It's just off of our sunroom, and he just came through. He's on the phone, I think, and he came through just to talk, and I don't know if you could hear him or not. He forgets that I'm videoing sometimes, but that's okay. Yeah, and I hear him outside. I don't know if you can hear me. He talks loud when he's on the phone. Oh, goodness. Okay, so this is my little scrappy pad right here. And I really should, and see, I'm not going to glue it down to this. That way it can just be, oh, I wonder if I want to do, and see, this will go on top of it, and then these little things slide, and you put the little brackets in it to hold it. I wonder if I want to do, I think I'll punch holes on this. I think I will. Pen, pencil, mark where I want it. And the nice thing about this, then you can take it off. I didn't mark that very darkly. You can take it off, take this off of this, and then replace it if you want to. Now, I didn't make the other one I did. I didn't make it be replaceable, I don't think. No, I don't think I did. But I'm going to make this one be replaceable. If you want to make another one, because you've used the papers out of this one, then you can do that. Okay, so let me just get my regular hole punch here. Just like that. And then these are, my mom worked for the railroad years ago. And and she was in the accounting department, and this is how they bound their ledger things together, railroad ledger, whatevers, or with things like this, and with the, there we go, and with Brad's, but they use this too, which this is a document thing. So then you got your scrappy pad. You can pull off a page, write on it. If you need to have more, you just make yourself more. And then on this side, we have a decorative element here, which I wish was a little bit more tatted. There, a little bit more, so it has a little more movement to it. That helps a little bit. So, and then we'll just put that back in the journal. It goes right like this, and that goes back in there. And this goes there. I think that's how it is. Sometimes I don't get it back exactly like it was supposed to be, and I think I messed it up somewhere along the way earlier today. Okay, so there we are. Now, on top of this, I always like to put a little bit of, let me find my thing, a little bit of decorative something. I don't know if this will be it, but this is a stamp, a sticker. And I didn't like that sticking way off by itself like that. I don't know why, I just didn't. So I wanted it a little closer in. And so I might put that on there like that, but I am not sold on that yet. So we're going to leave it like that, but I probably will put some little decorative something over that, so you have like a cover of your scrappy pad. Now over here on this side, you'll remember we did this early on, and over on this side, I told you last video we covered this cookie box with just collaged it with paper, wanted it to look kind of like the Tim Holtz little frames that you can buy. And so I did that. I'm going to ink down these edges. I sewed around it and I left the threads. Should you decide you'd like to have this journal, you can cut those threads off if you don't like them. And I'm going to edge in here. And edge in here. Just like that. Okay. And I am going to show you what I want to do with this. I'm not going to frame any picture or anything in it, but I'm going to glue it down, and I am just going to glue it on the very edge, just like where the stitching is. I don't know if you could see that or not, but just where the stitching is. Down, not on the inside, just on the outside. Just where that stitching is. So it's close to the edge. And I've done this before, and I really like how it comes out. And so I've decided this is something I will do often. And then I'm going to glue it to this page. Center it on the page as best I can. Again, there's no wrong answers here. Okay, and then I'm going to put it down. I guess I could have kept out the page. I probably should have. Hold on, let me pull it back out. And because it's not going to stick. That way I can make it be flat. I got my little weights here. I don't know what these things are, but I got these at an estate sale, and they screw apart. And I have a stack of 7. I have a stack of 8, but they do that, and they screw together. So if you know what these are, I'd like to know. Let's see here's the other one. This is another one. See, some of them have this, and some of them have a knob. I happen to have one. This is the only one I have that has 2 flat ends, but they're heavy. I mean, this one's about 3 pounds. I think I weighed it and it was 3 pounds, something like that. Okay, I think I may have needed to put some glue. No, it's sticking. Okay, it's sticking now. Now, you wonder, why am I doing this? I will show you. I did not do this in the other journal. So if you know what these are, like I said, they're all in, and I have 2 stacks of 3, and then that one was a stack of 2, that other one was. Okay, so what this is for is, I call it like a memo frame, because you can stick things in it like that. Or you have smaller things. This is a little bit smaller than I normally would make, but that happens to be what size a little cardboard thing I had. So, but if you had little things, you can even do them inside there like that. And they tuck in. So if you have a little note, some stamps. That's a good thing to put in there. Here we have a little coupon for ice. Can go in there. What else do I have here? Nothing else really good for that. But I am going to get, hold on. I am going to get some stamps because I have several stamp sheets. Like this. Bought these at an estate sale sometime back, so I have these. These are 8-cent stamps. Those are 8 cent. These are $8. So, I mean, I still could use these, but I also want to use them in my crafting. So, these were, and so like I could do a little section of stamps right here all together. These are different, these are 13 cents. So I can stick some in there, some stamps in there like that. So that's my, I call it my, what did I say I called it? Now I can't remember what I called it. Memo frame. And then I'm going to put a couple of these in there too. These say progress in electronics, and these, I don't know what that is, but I know this is not the right denominations of stamps for the time period that I'm proposing that this journal is in. But I will also say that this journal is I'm just going to do 2 stamps on this from this one because of the bigger. That this is also, so we'll stick those right there. There we go. Okay, I like it. So I know that these stamps are not the right denomination for the proposed time frame of this journal, but it is a work in progress, if you will. So, you know, it may start in the 1930s and go to the 1950s, you know, and there may be ephemera in there, you know, because someone who was starting this in the 1930s would still maybe be putting things in it in the 1950s. And I still don't know if that's, but you get the gist. Okay, so this goes back in here like that. So we have that like that. That goes in there like that. This goes in here like this. Okay, so that's the other thing we did. Now, the other thing I changed was I changed the way this piece, I had this piece in here so it was straight, still ragged, but it was straight. And I decided I wanted it to be crooked. And I also, you've seen this envelope that said, please open. I did this collaging on it. And then just put it on here, and I decided I wanted this to be crooked because I wanted that to be crooked. So, I mean, you know, simple as that. Pull that down. Because it's just junky. It's just junky. So it's just kind of thrown together. So I have a little tag in there. That is a vintage tag, and there'll be something else to go in there. I'm not sure yet what that might be, but there'll be something else to go in there. And I've added this little piece of fabric and some lace doily pieces on this. This is the autograph book that came from an estate sale, and like this first entry into this book is from 1927, June of 1927. And on this side, the entry is, so there's an entry here, it's 1939, this is 1939, this is 1947. So see, it's going over the course of years. So who knows? Who knows when it started? I added these pieces of fabric up here, and I sewed those in. I added this pocket here, which is just a chenille. Let's see if you can see the chenille, a chenille trim. You know, or that's what it looks like to me. I'm not sure if it's really chenille or not, but I think it is. I'm going to add this. This right here is a story about a dog who could predict, you know, how many kittens a cat was gonna have, and who was going to win a horse race and all that. So this is not this dog. Jim was the name of the dog, but I thought instead of having this here, this says, how did he know? Could leave that and put this over here. And I had, there was some printing from this taco bag here that I didn't want on there that looked too new. So I just patched it with another piece of brown paper. I'm gonna cover that up because it says something about being 1979, and I don't think this is gonna be. This is from that 2015 almanac, so I don't think I want that to. But this dog was in the 30s, was predicting these things, and he died in 1939. This dog did. Yeah, March 18th, 1939. So the story about this was from back in the day. So I'm just going to stick that right there. Like it was always part of the article. And then over here, Memoirs of a Country Doctor. So a few little things to read there. I don't know if I'll do anything on the edges of that. So I've added this envelope. I showed you this envelope, but I don't know if it was already attached or not. So I decided to attach it on this short piece here. And that was the other thought for this sticker, was to put it right here on top of the window. And then when you slid something in there, it would show behind the window with this. And I think that might be what I want to do with that. Then I did this, which is this was another, well, for one, I put this frame together, and this was that frame from a photo album that was falling apart. So I put it together so it was solid, and I put this so that it would go in the middle of it. This, in other words, this is going to be framing this botanical, which I wanted it to look like a pressed flower, which I think I did accomplish that. And these are shiny. This is from the same sticker pack. And as you can see, those are shiny. I don't like the shiny. So I took some Liquitex matte medium and some Martha Stewart matte medium, 2 coats, and coated it. After I got it stuck to the paper, I coated it with the matte medium. It dulled it down a little bit, but then I took a piece of sandpaper and I sanded over it, just a little sanding block. And this is something you might want to, even when you're doing napkins and you decoupage a napkin, if you take a sanding block and you just sand over it, even with the napkin, after, of course, after your medium has dried, and you sand over it, it will smooth it down so you don't feel any edges. And in the napkins, because usually napkins wrinkle, so in the napkins, when you do that after you've decoupaged them, then they feel smooth. That's just a tip that I saw on the internet someday, sometime, somewhere along the way. So now I think, I'm not going to do this now, I have to wait till I find the book, but I think that I'm going to wind up, don't know yet, but I'm thinking that I'm going to wind up gluing this page to this page and making this be a pocket, because this will make that be a heavier duty, because I will attach this first to here, to this page, which I can go ahead and do that, and then I can make the decision as to whether I want to glue it or not. This edge is going to show right here. I think I'll go ahead and glue that down, because let's see what's on the other side of this. Yeah, this is the cover, or the title page of Silas Marner's Weave of the Revlo, March 1901. So we're gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do on the rest of this thing. But so I'm going to go ahead and take this out and glue this to this. And I really don't want it to be right to the edge because I'm afraid it won't. So I'm going to do it right on the edge of the rim, because I don't want it to have any blank, which means I'll need to cut that down some more. I've already cut it down a little bit on this side, so I'm going to cut it down a little bit more because I don't want there to be any blank space inside the oval. This blade needs changing. So let's see if that does it well enough. Or is that close enough? Yeah, I can move it over a little bit. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to glue it all the way down. Even though this could be another little tuck thing, but I don't know that I want it to be because it's fragile. It's a little too fragile. And then I think I'm going to do some stamping on that too. So we're going to glue this whole thing down. That way I don't have to worry about the stability of this. Even though it's a cardstock, it's very old. I will be making a journal out of the cover that this comes out of sometime in the future. I have lots of plans for lots of different things. I just got to get it on the stick. Next week is a busy, 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 busy week. Well, actually, you'll be seeing this on the day starting the busy, busy, busy week, on the Monday, starting the busy, busy, busy week. Very busy week. This week, not so much. Been watching the Olympics, skating mostly, and I've been enjoying that. I like the ice skating. Okay, and if you don't know, U.S. won the team gold, ice skating team gold medal, and we won, U.S. won, well, we've won several medals, but these are the ones I know of. We won in ice skating the silver for the ice dancing. U.S. won the silver. They were hoping to get, of course, they didn't. They should have, because they were better than the ones I thought that got the gold. But, you know, whatever. I'm not an ice skater, so I really can't tell you. But I think the ice dancing is very pretty and flowy. So, okay, let's see if I need to, yeah, I do need to stick this down just a little bit more across there. So I'm going to pull this up and do some more across here. Oh, me. I will be quiet sometimes just because I run out of something to say. But I enjoy watching the Olympics. We watched curling. My husband and I both kind of would disparage the curling because we're going, what is that all about and how silly is that? Well, we got to watching it. It was on, and we had just got through watching some ice skating, and it was on. And so we watched it, and while we were watching it, we looked up the rules and what it is about. And actually, it takes some talent. And it's kind of like a combination of bowling, bocce ball, horseshoe. It's kind of like a little bit of all of those in the way you play the game. And I enjoyed it very much. So I told my husband we could not disparage curling anymore because now we know what it's about, and it's really pretty cool. Okay, so that's going to go in there like that. See, I just have this stuff everywhere because, you know, pull out things. Oh, I think I want to use this. And then it doesn't work out, and then I just throw it down instead of putting it back, and on and on. You know how it goes. Okay, I'm about ready to bind this because I cannot stand to work in it when it is all of these little pieces. I can't stand it. Okay, I think I showed you everything that I have done. We added that. I showed you this. I showed you this, and I showed you this, and I showed you this. Okay, so on the other side of this, I'm also going to put something, some lace or something. So let's see what we have. Now, I had another piece of lace here somewhere. Here it is, that I could just throw on the end of this. Just like that. I just wanted to have something. And then I could put this little piece of fabric on this side. Not cover up. So this photo album is from autograph album is from a lady called Winnie, and her name is Winfred. I don't know her last name. I have met her. She has since passed. That's why I was even at the estate sale. But I did meet her. Nice lady. And I am going to put that there. I am going to do that. And so I bought her an autograph album. It only cost $4, and it has quite a number of pages in it. And there's some blue, pink, and kind of a cream color. Do it this way. Pages in it. So I just, I'm doing an album. I usually pick out one, put it in there. And it's kind of neat because I have met this person. I had met this person. And then on this side, I'm going to put this on this side. Because I don't want the straight line. It would be okay, but yeah. So we'll do a little bit of glue here. And all that does for these old pages. I mean, this album, she got it in 1927 at least. There's probably something in there that's even older than that I haven't come across yet or whatever. So this is old because my father was born in 1928, and because my mom was born in 1930, so she would have been 95. She would be 96 this year, so my father would be 98 this year. So this is old. So, okay, come on. Now, this glue sticks. I don't have a problem with this glue. I use art glitter glue is what this is. I use it for everything. Everything. I've never had a trouble with it. Now, when you're gluing, the only thing I've had trouble with is if it is polyester, lace, or fabric gluing to another polyester lace or fabric. That's the only time that it has caused a problem. Or that it didn't stick as well as I wanted to. You just gotta let it. I'm gonna leave that loose right there. So you just gotta let it dry for a second. Now, there, I like that. And see, as we go along in this, and you get this going, you're gonna have bits and pieces that are sticking out past the book. I don't care. That's good. That's good. Now this cover, I may have talked about this before. I have a way to add on to it if I decide to. I don't know if I'm going to yet or not. But see, this whole thing right here is just this piece I added. Oh, I added this. This is something you didn't know about either, that I added that. And then I also added this, which I talked about this going with her. I didn't like the way that looked. But since I have put her down, her blouse was a lot brighter blue. And it just was too bright. I just couldn't, I guess it was just bright. It's like very bright. Brighter than the red. So I wouldn't use it, but now I'm kind of thinking that ain't too bad right there. That's not too bad. And it would be covered up. Boop. But I can do that later if I decide to, and I may use her somewhere else. It's not one of those things that I've just thrown over here. So I also added this, stitched it on, and I didn't glue that, I just stitched that on. Then we just added this. Okay, and I was going through this other book. You see how fat this guy is? This was getting there. It's not quite as fat yet, but see how fat this guy is? Oh, there's one other thing I have to show you. See how fat this guy is? This guy is fat. See that? This one's not there yet, but I also am not finished. But on this one, almost every page, almost every single page has something that is either attached, sewn on, or something. There's a floating pocket. I want to make one of those too. And some crumpled up tissue there. Got this as a tuck. I need to do one of these also. Fabric. I mean, I've got either fabric, lace, extra paper, newspaper, something, tucks, something on every page. I just added, I've got to show you that too. I just added that. There's my parents, my dad and my mom and dad. This is a tape transfer from printed, not a photo, a copy of a photo. So on every page I have something. So that's my goal for this. I have yet to find what's going to be on the cover. I haven't even looked really. So we don't know, but I did do something else that I forgot to tell you about. So we did that, I did that. I did add this, but that was the last time. Okay, keep going. And going, and I don't remember if I added that. I think I did add that when we were here the last time. This down here and that. I added this lace over this Austria flag. And these are cigarette silks. You've heard of cigarette cards. They also did cigarette silks. They didn't come in the package like the cards did. In the cigarette package, you got a coupon. You would get a coupon in each cigarette package. And then after so many, I don't know how many, but some amount, you would send them back into the company and you would get a silk. Now I have these larger ones and I have some even larger. I have some that is like as big as this. And they're also cigarette flannels. I have some that look like little rugs that have soldiers on it. I have some that are smaller, that are, like this size in comparison to this one. And I have some little leather pieces that are from different colleges. Well, I don't know if those are cigarette anything, but I know that these are cigarette silks, and they all call them cigarette silks and cigarette flannels. Now, this is not really silk. It is more of a cottony type fabric. There are some. I have some little ones that do feel and look like silk, but I don't think they really are. They just call them that. But people they would order these, and all the ones I have are flags, but they also had florals, and they had animals, and all variety of things, just like they do in the cards. And people would get these and they would sew them together like they're going to quilt it and make pillows. So I've seen some. If you look them up on eBay, you can see some cigarette silk pillows, and somebody has sewn several of whatever variety of thing it is together, and then they make pillows. Or I've seen coverlet covers, and all kinds of things. So I have one of those in here, red, because that's kind of the theme here, but it was a little bright, so I said, okay, I'm just going to put this lace over the top. So I did that as well, and that's stitched on. I don't know that I did anything. Oh yeah, I think you were with me when I added that. I was going to do a scrappy pad underneath this. Don't know that I will. I might leave it just like it is. I don't know if you were here when I added that, maybe. So here is our bulletin board frame. Was that what I called it? I can't remember what I called it now. So I still have things to do. Oh, wait, we can do this. This is something else that I was going to do. I have these vintage. This is a cigar box label. And this is Campbell Soup label, vintage. Bought these online. And then I have this Delicado, which it is a surname in Spanish, but it means soft or tender. So I am going to, it's from a cigar box as well, but I cut out the other part of that for something else sometime back. So I thought I would just use this little bit to make a little tuck spot for these little labels. I think it will go in there. Let's see, I think it will. Yeah, and I was going to put that right here. So let's do that. I just think that's kind of cool. I thought the name was kind of neat. Spanish Delicado. Let's ink this up. So of course I had to look that up, even though I took Spanish in high school. I took Spanish in high school and French in college, so go figure. So I don't know either one of them very much. And my brother and I started learning how to speak German, and I don't know very much of that either. So, so there you go. Anyway, I'm going to put this right here at the bottom, or I could put it at the top. That might even be neater. Let's try that. Let's see if that will fit. Should fit. Let me take this out. Yeah, that's attached to this one. Okay. That goes in there like that, I think. Yeah. This will go in the middle. Okay, so I think if I do this right, yeah, I think I'll put it at the top. If I glue that on there correctly, this should still fit inside there. Just barely. So I am going to do it at the top instead of the bottom. And if that doesn't work with that label, I will put something else in there. Or I will trim that down some more. Let's do it just like that. I want it right at the top. These cigar labels and things are just beautiful. I have several. There's an online ephemera place. It's called Ephemera. Ephemera page, something. The ephemera page, I think is what it's called. And I on Facebook. And I have bought several things. Postcards. You can get postcards a lot. Various different people sell various different things. So I have gotten postcards. I got these labels. That is not going to fit. I was afraid of that. It's just a little bit too big. But this will fit. I should have made sure that it was tight against that, and I didn't. So let's take this up. And let's make sure it is. So if it's not tight against the page, so I like to bend the page up like that a little bit. And then when you Smooth it back out. It's a little closer. No, that didn't work so well on that one, but let's take her out. Okay, I think that'll work for something. It may not work for this. It won't go, that one won't go in, but that one will. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so the ephemera page. I have bought postcards, some, what do you call them? They're vintage. All the things are vintage. Some things are more expensive than I'm willing to pay. So, you know, you gotta pick. You gotta pick what you want. And they started to do what I don't like is deal or no deal. D-O-N-D. And they'll just say D-O-N-D, and they don't tell you what they want for it. It's just, you just bid on it, and if you get the bid, you get it. There we go. I like that, Okay. So this, I can either cut it down to, which I don't know that would even make it fit. It probably would fit if I cut it down some more. So I'm going to cut it. We'll try it. I don't mind. And that's on Facebook. If you're interested, go look. They have vintage photo albums. I mean, you name it. There's just all kinds of things. And you have to pay with, they'll tell you on their post whether it's Venmo, PayPal, or something else. It could even be something else. I usually pay with PayPal. I'm old school. I don't do Venmo. That's the other bigger one is that they usually we accept is Venmo or PayPal. And you just private message them. Okay. That will go. So that's just how little bit it took. See, I like that. I might just like that. Stick this one underneath. Or stick it somewhere else. I like that. Okay, how about if we stick this other one in? Here it is. Right here. So I can take this out. I can take that out and put this in here. Just like that. Or just like that. Okay, that's good. I still could put the ice in here. The ice coupon. Like that. Still got stamps in there. Yep, okay, that's good. I like it. Okay, I think I'm going to end this here today. Not quite an hour, which is good. And I will work on this some more without you, but I will show you what I do, and then I will work on some more with you. And so, again, welcome to my messy desk, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.